Hey guys, it's Dan Calloway coming at you again, and today I want to talk about evolution mail. Now, evolution mail has had a bad rap over the years. I can remember in several distributions of Linux, including Red Hat, trying to get evolution mail to work. I've stayed away from it. It used to crash the system all the time. It used to crash itself all the time. But I've got a renewed respect now for Evolution Mail because I recently installed it, and I was using Thunderbird Mail and really like Thunderbird Mail, but Evolution Mail has just got it beat. Let me go ahead and bring that up and show you what it looks like. Now I'm on a system here. This is OpenSuse Leap 42.3, latest distribution, fully updated. It's running on my Dell Optiplex 745 Tower PC. It's got 8 gigs of RAM and it's got a terabyte hard drive and a 4 terabyte extended hard drive as well from the external side. So it's got a lot of space to play around with. Okay, so let me go ahead and click here and let me bring up Evolution Mail and show you what it looks like. It should open up here to my inbox, my Data Pioneer account. And this is my mail here. This is what the default looks like. It looks very similar to Outlook. And I'm going to show you how you can work with this. Now, if you want to go into View and you want to go to the current view, I've got, let's go back again. The current view is a custom here view that I've got set up. And I'm going to, let's see here, window, yeah, alright, I'm going to go to Edit Preferences, bring that up, and this is where you add accounts and edit the accounts that you have set up. Now I've disabled on this computer, I didn't want to see that over here on the left side. Search folders, I didn't want to see that either. All I wanted to see was my Data Pioneer account. Under Contacts here, you've got General and Automatic Contacts. I don't like to add contacts that I create in my address book that create it automatically. I don't like that. Mail preferences here, I've got HTML mail messages. Check for new messages on start. Use the same fonts as the system. It's pretty much the default here that everybody uses. For HTML messages here, I want to show animated images, and I want to prompt on sending HTML mail to contacts that do not want them. I've got a setting here for my junk folder which says check incoming messages for junk. Do not mark messages as junk if the sender's in my address book. That's very important to me. I don't want a message from a friend or something getting thrown in the junk mail, although I would see it over here if I did. I don't ever delete messages from the junk without looking at them. Here under Composer Preferences, you can set up a signature, which I have done. You can add another signature. You can edit the one you currently have. I have a spell checking feature turned on. I don't add, well, I do have everything selected here for confirmations. And then sending account, I've got it set up so that it says folder override has precedence over recipient override, but I don't have anything set up here. If I wanted to do that, I would click here, use for folders, use for recipients, and then change that. For network preferences, I want to defer to desktop settings here. Calendar and tasks, I want 12-hour AM PM display, use system time. For reminders, I want by default to have display reminders in the notification area and show a reminder 1 day before an appointment. Then I've got publishing information I can do here for a template if I wanted, or meeting invitations if I wanted to set that up as well. This checks my personal address book for setting up meetings. And then I've got an area here for certificates, and I don't use that right now. The only encrypted email account that I have is my Proton Mail account sitting on a server in Switzerland, and that's all I really need. So let me go ahead and close this. Alright, so when I double click on a message, let me pull up one here. Here's one of the nicest things. First of all, let me talk about this. Here's an email from a friend. And here are some subsequent emails coming from that person. here are responses out to that person back in regards to, and notice how it cascades those down, so it keeps everything in a threaded view. I really like that about Evolution Mail. So let me go ahead and open up this Charles Chu message, and I double click it and it brings up his message here. Now I have the settings set up so that all messages automatically display content over the internet. I hate it when I get one that I have to say allow, allow, allow. I did that at first and just got annoying, so I've just turned it on. I'm just careful about what messages I open. Alright, and so here's the message. If I wanted to reply to it, I can do a reply or a group reply. I can do a forward here. I can go to the next message here, display the next message or display the previous. If I click reply, send private reply, it says you are replying to a message which arrived via mail list. I've automatically told it not to allow me to do that, and so it prompted me saying, hey, you're trying to reply to a message that's on a message list, and do you really want to do that? You can reply privately or reply to all or reply to list. I'm going to cancel that. Alright, and so let me go ahead and close this. If I want to minimize the message, by the way, I can go ahead and minimize that. It comes to the taskbar, and then I can bring it back up if I want to. Let me go ahead and close that. If I want to go out to another workstation, I can do that here on this system. And so this is pretty neat. If I want to write a new message, I just say new, brings it up, and let me put in Dan Calloway at Outlook.com. Notice how it automatically completed it for me. I'm going to put subject test message. Alright, notice there's no signature here, and that's because it allows you to turn on and off a signature that you desire here at will. So if I had more than one signature, I could select the one I wanted here. Alright, and so this is a test. That's what I'm going to say, and then I can add an attachment if I want to. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to go ahead and send it. It's going to go out and send the message, and then it should automatically pop back to my inbox once that message is sent. Okay, and so eventually that should come into the inbox. Let me see if I can speed it up by hitting send receive. And sometimes messages are a little slow coming in via Outlook for whatever reason. I think it's scanning the messages on the server. Not really sure. Try it again. Yep, it's not going to come in while I'm doing it, of course. Alright, so contacts. Here's my contacts. If I want to add a new contact, I just double click, and it allows me the interface here for adding a new contact. Alright, if I want to get to the calendar, I just click the calendar button, and I've got a calendar event here actually tomorrow. Tasks allows me to add a task here, or memos. I can add a memo as well. Let's go back to the mail, and let's see if we can get that message to come in. No, it's not going to come in while we're talking to you on this video. Alright, but believe me, it's going to come in eventually through Outlook. It's actually set up to poll for messages every 10 minutes by default anyway. Alright, so that's a brief overview, and that's just a very brief overview of Evolution Mail. It's made a comeback. It's a lot more stable. It doesn't crash your system. I really like it, and so I recommend Evolution Mail for the GNOME desktop in Leap 42.3. I'm using Plasma 5, but it's working just fine. So thank you for allowing me to come to you today to show you Evolution Mail. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.